The adult beverages are poured, the kids are asleep. Welcome to New Dad Gaming, a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives. My name is Trevor, and I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old.
So we'll start out with some thanks. I got the opportunity to be on the GNA Podcast last week. I believe the episode is out if you look for them on Spotify, but that's GNA Podcast, Games, Nerds, and Alcohol. The podcast was very much filled with all of those three, but unlike this show, they just clearly liked each other.
Oh right,
and
okay.
And they just had that kind of nice conversation as opposed to this like tumultuous relationship we have.
More chemistry. I get it. All right, you're going to them. I understand.
Not more, Jeff. Some chemistry.
Right. The spark.
Either way, I highly suggest everyone check it out. They're a really wonderful group of guys. I had an absolute blast on the show. That's GNA Podcast. I'm trying to get this website right. GNAYourdNA.one. I would suggest you Google GNA Podcast. Might be a bit easier, and we'll link it in the show notes here. Yep. Guys, thank you so much for having me on. It was an absolute blast. Now, speaking of an absolute blast, there's no way, if you paid attention to any gaming media, any Twitter, any public space, any social media, that you did not see Horizon 5 just ripping up the charts.
What's it been like? I haven't heard of this.
Yeah. Horizon 5, is that like a flight sim type of thing?
Horizon Zero Dawn? I don't see any robot dinosaurs. I'm sorry.
What's the week been like for you in seeing this onslaught of Horizon 5 news and reviews?
I will say the game looks fantastic. Another thing, a lot of people take 3/4 turn photos of cars and think they are like the best thing ever. Kind of like when you take pictures of fireworks and you send them to everybody and you're like, look at all this. And you're just looking at them like, yep, that's the same thing.
I'm going to remember this forever. You know when you and your significant other sit on the couch and you go back to 3 years ago and look at firework photos you took or videos?
Right, all the time.
Like that.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's been a while. Like, I don't know. I'm glad for the hype, honestly. Like, this game looks fantastic. So I will not play it. I don't have Game Pass, but I'm sure you will.
Well, here's not only what I will, but I almost did.
Ooh.
So as of this recording, I will get access to this game in 5 days. I think it's November 9th. As we record, this is November 6th.
Right.
I'm only a few days off, but I had marched into this weekend, and I could just visualize myself playing this game.
Yeah.
So Horizon 4 for me was one of the surprise hits of last year. I think it's the most played game I had, like a year/year and a half of time since right now.
Wow.
Or previous to now. Just up and down enjoyed it. I think it's an excellent dad game because it was just drop in, and if you don't want to do anything, it's just like careen around some scenery. Great. You don't have to do a darn thing. You can just like, here's a whole bunch of cool cars. They're very generous with what they give you as far as like, here's a whole lot of vehicles. You can discover a whole bunch of them. Do you want to do what type of race? You want to race against people? No? Great. Here's some AIs. Here's a beach race. Here's a dirt track. Here's trucks across the tundra. Here's sports. It's just it felt like a game built by gamers for gamers with the best of intentions. Like I was really happy it existed.
That's good.
Is one way to
sounds like a lot of options. So that's good to hear,
yeah.
right? Like something, and you've talked about Forza 4 for a long time. So I'm glad you're getting an update to something that you love and that you're probably going to buy.
Oh, well, I don't have to because I have Game Pass, but this is the rub. So, because what it came out is that if you, everybody with Game Pass, they get it very soon, so in a couple days, as we mentioned. If you bought the DLC, now if you bought it outright, congratulations, you can have it now. So if you're buying it on PC or just as Xbox standalone, you don't have Game Pass, great, you get it.
Right.
If you bought the DLC, the premium pack, they called it, you on Game Pass could get it right now. You could get it ahead of the line for a few days.
Right.
So I'm telling you, I had, in my mind, I'd visualized the entire night. It's like the kids go down.
Yeah.
The beer gets poured.
Okay.
The things get swung around, and I'm on the couch, and I'm going to just play like 4 or 5 hours of Horizon, and it's going to be amazing.
Okay.
Right. So now it comes time to, it's like, hey, listen, if you want to get it early, because what you just visualized can't happen because you're not going to get to the next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want it early, all you got to do is buy this premium pass.
Yeah.
And so there I am now starting to say, like, well, I want to support the developers, and it'll be kind of cool to get a bunch of cars, and I get it early. And then it turned out to be like $70. And it's like, well, okay, well.
Yeah.
I visualized it. I did not visualize that much money leaving my wallet. So I'm going to leave that be. If it was, I'm telling you, if it was $20, 25, maybe even 30, I might have pulled the trigger.
Yeah, I could see it. There's a lot to unpack there because
my beer just spilled. Damn. Okay, hit me.
All right. So knowing, like, when I go out and get a game, so let's say Witcher 3, they're gonna release Witcher 4, right? I will have to be like, damn, is this game worth $80? And I'll be like, yeah, it's earned my time, sort of like it's something I love, $80. But knowing that I will get it free, technically, kind of, in like 3 days, doesn't that kind of weigh on you? I was like, well.
Oh, yeah.
Before I could treat myself, right? Like, I've earned this. And then instead, it's just like, I've earned this, but for 3 days, have I earned it? I don't know.
It honestly, it was more to, again, it's about pricing.
Yeah.
If it was, again, $20 for $20, you can have these 50 other cars, and we'll give you these 6 extra races, and you get it. It's like, okay, great. And honestly, a part of that was like, I almost want to participate in the purchasing of it because I want to vote with my wallet and say, look, you guys have put together a game that feels like such a love letter to gamers that I'd want to like say thank you. So, you know what I mean? It's not like, I don't feel like it's somebody like it's a Activision gotcha trinket loot chest that's just trying to like get money out of me. It was more like, hey, if you want a whole bunch of extra cars and get it early, $20. And it's like, you know what? You guys are great. Fine, here's my $20. But the point when it does, when the price jumps up to basically the cost of a full AAA game, it's like, ugh. But that's with Game Pass. I think you were saying, well, like the full premium if you don't have Game Pass, so the game itself plus the premium pack. Like, what was the crazy pricing on that?
In Canada, it was $129.
$129.
And that was on like the front page because I was looking at Game Pass for Minecraft for my son, and I saw it obviously cover page right there. It was $129, but it had everything, and it included subscription to Game Pass for at least a few months. At least I didn't really look into it. I was taken aback by the price. I was like, "That's a lot for you to jump in early." And I don't like how they say again, and a lot to unpack. How it's in early access right now. It's not in early access. It's a full game. Really? It's just you can pay to get in sooner. So like to say like day one Game Pass launch date, it's not day one. Like they tiered it. Just be like, you know, I know it's just shady. Like I don't, whatever. Like again, these people don't need your money. Like they've got tons, but like just don't shade it. Like I don't know. I'm seeing again on our Twitter feed, all it is car shots. Like all. So if you ever wanted to like, you know, go in fresh, nope, you would have to pay for the DLC or the premium to get in early to get all that stuff and experience it fresh, which is always a risk. Maybe not in a car game, but for an RPG or something.
That is a shame to hear. It really is not day one. Yeah, they're playing around with words, which is kind of unfortunate.
Just don't call it day one. Just call it, you know, Game Pass day. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, access like special like first release with DLC purchase. I'm having a hard time coming up with the right words for it, but I know what you're saying. Where it's like they say it's day one, but in fact, if you pay previously, you can jump ahead 3 days.
Right.
So it's actually day 4 access.
Yeah, day one for you, but not for that other person. But just don't call it day one. Just call it Game Pass launch or whatever. I don't know, whatever you want to do. But
now, if you want to hop in a vehicle here. Like you could always just get that 3 month. You can do it once. You can get the 3 months for $1. That's
true.
You could pull the trigger. Yeah. It'll stream to whatever you're playing. I've heard that streaming is actually kind of vastly improved recently. They updated Previously, as I understand it, Game Pass was streaming from Xbox Ones, so the previous consoles of it.
Yeah.
But they just apparently ripped through the entire server farm that they had, and they upgraded them all to Series X's. So
Well,
apparently, it's actually even got smoother. So if you want to like dip your toe in to see what maybe Game Pass will work its way into your life.
This is the gateway drug. This is what's gonna happen. Okay, if my son's gonna want Minecraft, I'll be like, it's actually cheaper to buy 3 months of Game Pass just to see if it works on your computer. Right? We've only spent $3, and then I have access to these things to stream.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And thus it begins.
And thus it begins, and then I'm back on this podcast saying, Trevor, damn you.
First is PSVR.
Yes, that's right. Right.
I don't think I'll ever sell you an Oculus Quest, but I might get you onto a Game Pass.
I don't know. You have powerful words, and it seems to have a cult following here. So
now we can move on to that's my obsession. That's my fight, keeping money in my wallet with games I want to get into. You had your very own with Metroid Dread, which as last we left it, it was a positive story where finally Jeff got a demo. In a world where demos seem to have fallen off of popularity, you got a demo of a game you were very interested in. Last we left, you're in it, playing it. Like, where do we stand with you in Metroid Dread?
It sold me, man. Like, I wanted it before,
it
but
worked.
now I want it more.
Nintendo, listen to the people. You gave him a demo, and then he bought your game.
Yeah, I haven't bought it yet. I'm still waiting for the best deal I can get.
I retract my statement.
It's gonna happen though. Like it's something that's gonna happen. But I've backed out of the eShop like 3 times. I've been to that purchase page and like it's $90. I just can't. It's a lot. But if I can get it again, Black Friday's coming up. I'm hoping for even just $10 off somewhere. I will get it. This demo worked, and it's funny because it's like one of those things where, hey, if you had a demo and you played through it, you kind of make up your mind, right? But did you ever, as a kid, like maybe have a demo? Again, you would have like on a demo disc, and you played through that demo like countless times. You'd be like, I could do it. It's fun. I'll try it a little bit better. Like maybe it's a little bit quicker. I know what to do now. I've played through this demo to completion like 7 times. I have not done that in like years, like decades. I have not done that.
Amazing.
Yeah, and
So
maybe it's
so
because I
compelling.
don't have a demo. I don't know, but I've done it again. I don't know.
So you're telling me that this demo, the game/demo is so compelling that you have multiplayed this. Like, what does it represent? That's like 20 minutes per playthrough?
Yeah, it's about. I've got it down to 20 minutes. It's about 35.
No,
35 to 40 minutes.
Professional game
That's
runner.
right.
I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Like speedrunner over
You'll
here.
see me on charity streams. I'm just ramping up. Right. I'll have this first world down, no problem. But yeah, it represents a good chunk of at least the first area, and you get at least 1 or 2 powers that you kind of have
Nice.
to play with. And there's some backtracking, and there's Metroid stuff, and there's just the music brings me back, and they've got like riffs on the old stuff. So I'm in the world. I want it already. This thing has just given me like a little bit of more of a taste. You know what I mean? Like that second bite of the burger. And I'm gonna go for the whole thing. I just need to find the time to commit to it.
Okay, so it has worked. So you are going to purchase this game.
Yes.
It's just you feel you have these restraint to hold off in case Black Friday knocks off a bit of the price for you.
Something like that. And it actually gave a good taste to my kids too, because my 8-year-old was playing it. He loves Metroid. He loves Super Metroid, and Super Metroid is not an easy game. Like it's very it's
not at all.
Classic Super Nintendo, right? Like it can be very difficult. He loved this up until there's robots that chase you. He doesn't like anything with chasing. Hates it.
Okay.
It makes him anxious, doesn't want, and it's not fun, which I totally get. Like I understand that. But he got to try it out, and I was kind of coaching him through it because they're very like flexible with like if the robot gets you, it's an instant death, and that kind of sucks. But you don't go back to a save point or anything. You go back to like the room before. So it like immediately gets you back in, and you can do it again. So he got over his fear a little bit, right?
That's very nice. That is a very nice quality of life touch.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if I was starting back at old school save points, which the demo does not allow you to use, you can't use any of the save points. That would suck. So they kind of are aware of that kind of gameplay mechanic, if you could call it that. But so my son got to try it, and he's like, "Yeah, I kind of want the full game." So maybe we'll go in on it together. I don't know.
Use some of his allowance.
Yeah, there you go.
Just to soften the blow.
Santa wants this, right? For your Christmas
There you
present? Okay.
For everybody. It's going to be your wife's present. It's going to be your
That's
two
right.
kids' present.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your parents' present. Just everybody. Everybody gets
Everybody,
Metroid.
throw them all in. Throw them all in. We'll
Just-
play Metroid.
But until I beat it, no one else can touch it in case they ruin my save file.
That's right. Yeah. No, but I'm all for demos. Give me all the demos. Nintendo, Sony, you need to do stuff. But
I hope so. I hope that they see the benefit of it, and this is the start of a trend where it's like, all right, let's get back in the demos. Let's give people a chance to like actually experience this stuff. That would be awesome. Or, cheap people to just keep playing the same 20 minutes 50 times ad nauseum.
I'm happy.
So that represents a bit of a hack for how to play and get the game.
Oh, yeah.
And the apparently your poor kids while playing Minecraft have been the victims of hackers that have entered the game, or cheaters. There's no way they could have lost.
Absolutely not. It's all about hacking the game and how they are victims. So, my kids play Minecraft extensively. I'm sure anybody's listening to the show. It's been the last, I don't know, it feels like years. But they're heavily into Minecraft on the multiplayer servers. And anytime my kid, my 11-year-old, loses, because there's like battle royales and all sorts of different games that they play. Anytime he loses to somebody, or if he shoots somebody and they don't die immediately, that person's hacking. That person's a cheater. There's no way that can happen. I killed you. You didn't kill me. And he yells it, right? He's got his headphones on. He doesn't know his volume. And he's yelling it. And all I do is just massage my temples. And I'm like, I remember those days when I would claim that.
That is so classic. Now hackers knew, like
Yeah.
the idea of like hacking, like and aim bots and like these other kind of new computer methods to cheat. That is new. But the idea of cheating and screaming at people who beat you legitimately and claim there's the only way you could have done that is if you're cheating.
Right.
You damn cheater. You darn cheater.
Yep.
And I imagine you have the same stories as well with being with friends or siblings and just screaming at them like, you're cheating.
Yep.
Instead of accepting loss, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's not my ability. It's that you did something that was outside the game that wouldn't allow me to win. So that's on you. And my kid likes to say that a lot. And I can totally see where it comes from. And I don't know if I'm hoping it's a phase, because I'm trying to think back, like, did I do this a lot? Like, I can't remember. I remember playing Quake online. And, ping and lag was a thing, right? Like, that was hard.
Yeah.
And you'd always say that somebody was cheating, but that's because they had a way better internet connection than you, and they'd be halfway across the map before you fall to the floor, right? Like,
Yeah.
that was a thing, and it was kind of like justified. Now it's just like, no, everyone's on the same playing field, and I don't think a lot of people are hacking Minecraft. I don't know. It could be a real thing. I'm not sure.
I know it. I know someone got there's tournaments. I know there's 4 money tournaments within Minecraft, and I know a somewhat famous streamer recently did get busted cheating. And it's kind of funny. Like, I didn't watch the full video, but someone was kind of breaking it down, is that you can see at this particular point, this clearly should have happened, but it didn't. And therefore, like, the person got busted, lost a bunch of money. But again, clearly, it's probably not happening for your son.
Well, maybe it is. And he's going to take this as
yeah.
evidence. He's going to listen back, right? And be like, see,
like,
even your co-host said people cheat.
Well, see, like, it's happening to like the world's best, so clearly it could happen to me.
Right. They have to practice somehow, so they're going for the small fish before they go for the big fish.
So what has been your approach with it? Are you like, how do you think you're going to be handling it, as far as I need to coach him in how to lose gracefully and learn from his mistakes and become better? Like, what's your current thinking on how to handle this? Because that's a bit tricky, right? Because
it is
high intensity. Like, you're in the moment, you're competing, like, you're amped up, and you're going to get like angry and raging. And like, how do you convert it into a positive where it's like, you lost, there's probably reasons you lost if you want to get better, X, Y, Z. it's not just the world's not out to get you. That you sucked that round. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'll throw a wrench in there too. So just hold on for 1 second. But when he says it, I'll come into the room, right, and just kind of see what's going on. He'll say, everybody's cheating and I died, whatever. But he'll immediately go into the next round, right? So he won't like pound the walls or throw the controller or anything. He won't get like too upset. So it's not like a huge thing, but it's kind of like, hey, you can't say that, especially if like there's audio chatter, which there's not. But like, I don't want you to call people cheaters when they're not. And then, this doesn't make you a good, like the sportsmanship's not there, so to speak. Like it's, you lost, right?
Sore loser.
Right. Go on to the next thing. But the wrench is his younger brother is there as his like support system. And they'll both turn to me at the same time and say, no, he was cheating. So
hold on. So the younger brother is like backing him up?
Him up completely. It's like defending the family honor. Like, no, our bloodline. Like this is cheating. They're against us. You need to be on our side, Dad. So
that is kind of wholesome.
It is.
It's kind of nice to see.
It is. I like to see the support, but again, it's just like, all right, no. Like, you don't even know what cheating is. You want to see some hacking and stuff? You come over and let's watch some videos of actual hacking. But it hasn't got to a point where it's like boiling rage or anything. Just keeping an eye on it. We have those little talks. He'll still say it, and I'll kind of just plug my ears for now.
Yeah.
Until it gets to a point. But it is funny that they're both on like the same side. Like, no, you're both cheating. Like that's it. It doesn't happen to us. So
no, yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you have to keep us posted. If any gaming dads have come across this themselves and have some suggestions for Jeff on
please
how to address it or what you've done, reach out to us on Twitter at NewDadGaming or our website newdadgaming.com. Something kind of related, and actually came up from one of the hosts on the GNA Podcast, Damok, where his, I believe it was 12-year-old he had mentioned. I was kind of shaking my head when he was mentioning it, but he has and again, if you listen to the episode, you'll hear his story of it. His 12-year-old was playing Among Us, and they actually had to ban it from the house. So Among Us is out of the house.
Oh, wow.
That's like full block.
Yep.
Because the 12-year-old is very competitive. Hyper competitive, wants to win it, right? But so much so that when the loss would occur, it became this gut-wrenching, like awful, like sky is falling type of moment. There'd be huge rage.
Right.
But worse would be that she would proceed to ruin the game for other people.
Oh, no.
Where,
oh, no.
As I've come to understand, apparently in many of the matches of Among Us, you can have two imposters.
Yeah, with the player count, yes. Yep.
And if she and apparently this 12-year-old loved to play the imposter, but if she was found out, she would rat out the other imposter so that she could get into another game quickly.
Oh my God.
She's like, I hate this. Like, I hate that I lost. I'm so upset. Tell you what, Blue's the other imposter. Get him out. So I don't want to play this anymore.
Wow.
So she was, and you can just imagine Blue's reaction. Like, come on, man. We're on the same team. How are you going to do me like this?
Yeah. I guess this boat is sinking. I'm taking you down.
I'd be curious to hear what you say, because I was asked, as a gaming dad and with a podcast specifically for gaming dads, obviously his immediate action was to just ban it from the house to kind of like probably a bit of a cool down period.
Yeah.
What's yours? Like, how would you handle this? Like, how would you manage support somebody in playing games and having a competitive edge while also steering them around, ensuring that you don't ruin others' funds?
Yeah, that's a hard one. I do agree with maybe let's get it out of the house for now. Again, reassess the situation just to see how to approach. By all means, right? That makes sense to me. But it's gonna filter into other games, like any other game that's competitive or has some sort of aspect to a team kind of environment. And then if you fail, you just take the team down, or you drop out and screw your team in player count, kind of like that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. It would be like my kids with the cheating thing or hacking. It was having those conversations and just like if you're not gonna play, if you're not gonna play right, so to speak, like if you're not gonna play with other people in this way that makes sense, like you wouldn't want somebody doing that to you, then we won't play online. Then this doesn't happen, because who knows what you're doing it to other people or where else it's coming out of. And if that's just the rule, like if you can't play online like that, it's not going to happen. So like it's hard too, because like at what point do you like allow them to have that space to learn and kind of come back from that, or do they learn in that? Because I think as like when we were younger, we kind of had free reign. I don't think our parents really knew what was going on online at all. And I remember just being competitive in a lot of things, but if I died, I died, right? I would sit and watch the rest of the game to get into the next round. That made sense to me. I didn't want to leave because it looked like I was, I don't know, it's like that guilt of just, I'm not going to run away from this. I'm going to come back at it stronger kind of thing, or better, whatever. So it's hard at 12 years old. That's a hard brain to get into. And I know my son's getting to that level. So I'm not sure how I would have to supervise almost for a few games just to see how things are working and go from there. I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you. I guess the answer I gave to him, I guess it kind of was almost a secondary thought, but one I think kind of played into it, where I did like the idea of fostering competitiveness a bit, in so much as what I don't want you to do is to dull your edge as far as I want to win, like I want to get better, I want to compete, I want to be the best, like that type of, like, so it's not to throw such a blanket over the entire thing where it's like, no, this is all happy-go-lucky, like this is just wonderful, and like we're all going to hold hands, this is great and happy, never get upset when you lose, like,
yeah,
don't soften everything of it, right? As opposed to, and then working within that context of trying to foster some healthy degree of competitiveness, also understand, like, at the same time, like, you can't be a dick. You can't ruin it for. No. Look, this is a game. People are trying to have fun. You can't ruin it for other people like that. Imagine if somebody did it to you, like, you would hate it. Like, everyone's here just trying to have a good time. It is really a certain lack of character to ruin it for somebody.
Yeah, and with that game, it's very easy just to like throw your hands up, get out, and start a new round because you don't even like how things are going, right? Like, it's very easy to do that. Where I think, I'm back in my day, it would give you a cooldown period if you kept doing that, right? Like, if you would drop out mid-round or something, you could be banned from that server. Whereas Among Us is very, I don't know, I've never run into anything like that, and a lot of people do it where they'll just drop out mid-game because they don't like how it's going, and they'll start a new one because it's very easy. It's pick up and play, go again, right? But yeah, you're right. Like, I wouldn't want to lose the get better attitude. Like, that to me is fine. That's healthy. But yeah, totally throwing your teammates under or something, or getting like enraged to the point where I'm just done. I want a new round because I don't like it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's, yeah.
I got you. Yeah. So it's interesting ground in between the story with your kids around explaining that when you lose, the only reason you lose is not necessarily hackers.
Right.
And otherwise, if you're going to lose, there's a way to do so gracefully and with character to not ruin it for other people.
Yeah. Again, don't be a dick.
It is just the age-old idea of not being dicks.
That's right.
That's where it all comes down to.
That's what we're going to make a bumper sticker out of.
That's just fatherhood 101.
It really is.
Check out our e-store. Gaming dads,
merch
don't
coming.
be a dick.
Right. For Christmas.
Gaming dads and the perfect stocking stuffer, the don't be a dick sticker set for your kids. On that note, we'll wrap it up for the week. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming. If you want to get a hold of us, you can find us at newdadgaming.com or find us on Twitter at newdadgaming. Do you have any suggestions for how to curb awful behaviors with your kids as they're gaming, and how to foster healthy competitiveness and good sportsmanship in playing with it and make sure everyone has a good time? We'd love to hear those type of stories. Do you have any game that you played a demo for. Are you super stoked for Horizon 5? Do you want to be my friend on Xbox so we can play Horizon 5 together?
There you go.
We'd love to hear from you. newdadgaming.com, @newdadgaming. If you like the podcast, you can find us on all the major podcasting networks. You're looking at iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, and anywhere else you find podcasts. Just search for New Dad Gaming. A subscription to us really helps the show, helps get with the numbers, helps spread it out to other gaming dads, and even better would be a rating and a comment as we try to reach out to as many gaming dads as possible. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. Until next week, my name is Trevor, and I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have an 11-year-old that is whiz at Minecraft, doesn't lose.
It's all hackers.
And his 8-year-old supportive brother.
His co-conspirator.
That's right. But just remember, just because you became a dad
doesn't mean it's game over.